Hello and welcome to this app tour for the Sukkat Shalom app. We like to do these app tours because there's so much that you can do with the church app. So we like to walk through everything that's possible so that you don't miss anything. Already what you can see I'm doing here is I'm deep pressing on iOS, which opens the quick action menu. On Android, if you long press, it will open a similar menu, and this lets you dive directly into any of these sections of the app from outside the app. So this is the app on my home screen of my iPhone. And I can jump directly into any of these sections of the app by deep pressing or long pressing on Android. And instead of doing that though, I'm going to just press the app icon and jump straight into the app so you can see how it launches normally. So it shows you the splash screen and you're taken right into the home section. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see that there's five tab icons: Teachings, Connect, Home, Prayer, Giving. From anywhere in the app, you can access any of those sections. But most of the other sections that you're going to want to access are going to be here in the home section. So let's start going through these tiles. First of all, you see notes. I'm going to go ahead and press the notes tile there on the left in the middle, and that's going to take me into sermon notes. And you can see here we have the sermon series graphic for the current sermon series, and below that we have an outline for the message this week. And above the sermon series graph, you can see it says touch any section to take a note. So not only do you have this really nice looking outline, but you also have the ability to take your own notes on any section. And as I scroll through here, you see that little icon there on the left hand side. That indicates that I have already been inside of these sermon notes and I've taken my own note on that section. So if I touch that section over there, you can see I really like what was said here. So I took that personal note and it was saved here. So I can go back up to the top, or I'll go down here to this passage for Genesis 1:3-5. I can touch that and say, this passage really spoke to me. Add that. And now I have another note, and you can see if I scroll through here, it's really easy to see what sections of the sermon I've taken a personal note on. So if this sermon outline was 5 times this long, I could easily pick out what sections of the sermon I took notes on. And then once the sermon's finished, at the bottom you can see there's an email sermon button. I'm going to go ahead and press that, and you're going to see here's the outline as an email, but as I scroll down, there's my personal note on the block where it said, I really like what was said here. And that's what I took previously. I mean, the app has been killed and reopened since then, and it still remembered those were the notes I took. But then you saw the note I took for this passage really spoke to me for Genesis 1:3-5. So now I have both the outline and my personal notes where I took them in that outline, and now I can email them to myself. And we hear awesome stories from people where they set up so that when an email comes into their email client, it automatically goes into a folder just for their sermon notes, and that way they have a collection of all of their sermon notes for all time, or for as long as they've been using the app, so they can easily go back and reference any sermon and the notes they took on that sermon. So now you no longer have to worry about writing inside the margins, running out of space, or even losing those physical notes. You can take them digitally, send them to yourself, and know that they're going to be stored online for you to access later when you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and press the cancel button in the top left corner because I don't want to send this email. And then in the bottom right corner, you can see there's a magnifying glass with a plus symbol and a magnifying glass with a minus symbol. What that does is let you zoom in, that's the plus symbol, or zoom out, that's the minus symbol. So my wife, she really likes tiny text, so she'd probably have something like this, which I think is crazy small. I can barely read, so I tend to go slightly bigger for the text, so I'd probably be more around here. And I've seen some people with huge text, so you can set it however you want, and then next time you come back into the app and look at the sermon outline for the following week, you will see the font, the size that you set it before, so it will remember what font size you like. So that shows you the power of the sermon notes and the outline, and how you can take personal notes, and how this will hopefully just make it even more easy to engage with Sukkat Shalom in a service. So I'm going to go ahead and press the back button in the top left corner, and we are back in the home section. So next up, you can see on the right hand side is calendar. Let's take a look at that. So the calendar gives you access to all of the events going on at Sukkat Shalom. And you can see for every event, there's an add to calendar button and an information button. And you may ask yourself, why is there an add to calendar button? I'm already looking at the calendar. And that's because what you're looking at right now is Sukkat Shalom's calendar. But what if you want to add it to your own personal calendar? For instance, in my case, I'm on an iPhone, so if I press add to calendar, which I'll just go ahead and do right now, it's going to add that event to my personal iCal, but my wife's iCal is actually linked up to my iCal, so now that event is also added to her iCal. So I can quickly go through here, scroll through all the events, pick out the events that are relevant for me, myself, and my family, and just click add to calendar for each of those, and I could go through to the end of the calendar and in a matter of minutes have all of the events for the next few months ready to go in our personal calendar, so we can look at our personal calendar there and then see all of Sukkat Shalom's events there for us, easy to be able to see, and even set up reminders if we want to. Then you can also see there's an information button. So on this August 4th event, I'm going to go ahead and press the information button, and you can see it gives me additional information as well as a website link. And you can see there's a close button and a website button because there's a website link there. So I can press that website button, and without even leaving the app, it will take me to the additional information for that event. So it makes it really easy for you to be able to get more information, and to also, if there happens to be an email contact for an event, it will even give you the ability to email that contact from within the app. And you can see for baptisms, there's registration available. And since there's registration available, there's an entirely extra button there up below the add to calendar information button, making it very easy to register. And now if there had been a bunch of events you could register for, they would really stick out to you because there'd be that whole extra button. So it makes it very easy to see what events have registration, and then you can just press register for events straight from here without having to look for additional information for that event. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of just how powerful the calendar is. From the feedback we get, this is one of the most powerful areas of an app, just because it's so easy. When someone asks a question about what's happening at Sukkat Shalom, you can now say, hey, have you checked out the app? Have you checked out the app? And if they have questions, you can just pull the app out and immediately show them. Versus saying, well, when you get home, check out the website, go here, 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 and then you're looking at this, and this will tell you this. Now, you can just pull out your phone and show them exactly what they need to do to be able to see what's coming up at Sukkat Shalom. All right, that covers the calendar. Let's press the back button in the top left corner again. Now, next up is below the notes button. You can see there's a groups button. I'm going to press that, and this will take me to the different groups at Sukkat Shalom. And you can see there's a map at the top of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then below that, there's a list of the current groups. You can see with each group there's a letter, so the top one's A, the second one's B, and then in the map at the top there's an A and a B, indicating those are the pins associated with those groups. Now as you come in here, you may come in looking for a group in different ways. Some people may be looking for a group that's the nearest to their house. Other people may be looking for a group based off of what the group looks like in the picture. Other people might be looking for a group based on the time of the group. So you have a list of the times. You can see for each group there's a time, there's pictures, and there's a map. And that map is interactive. So if there were 10 groups here, you could zoom in on wherever you live, and then you could click any pin. So I'm going to zoom in on this. So let's say there's 3 pins here. We'll zoom out where there are 2 pins. I can go ahead and select that B pin, and you can see it tells me B is the Davises. You can see Davises in the list below. And now that Davises is selected, I can call them, I can email them, or I can even sign up for the group directly from the group section of the app. Also, any of these, the 2 items below, or if this had been a long list below the map, I can also select any of those. So I'm going to select the row with A, and you can see automatically the map jumps there because I touched it. I can touch B, and you can see the map jumps back and forth as I touch the different rows. So you can either search using the list below or search using the map above by touching a pin. All right, that covers the power of groups and how it will help you find the perfect group for you. So I'm going to go ahead and press the back button in the top left again, and we are back in the home section. So this screen actually scrolls, and you can see there's additional content down here. You have your visitor card and first serve in the bottom right. Those are 2 forms. So the visitor card allows visitors to fill out a card, which perhaps on Sunday morning there's a card they can fill out. That's a physical card, but this gives them the ability to fill out that card any day of the week, making it easy for them to be able to connect with Sukkat Shalom. The first serve form lets you sign up to serve at Sukkat Shalom, and then above first serve you can see invite. What the invite does is it gives you an easy way to invite someone to church. So let's say on Sunday, or on Sunday, let's say on any day of the week you're at Walmart or somewhere and you run into someone, you start talking, and you start talking about Sukkat Shalom, how much you love church. And so what do you do next? this gives you a great next step. You can just say, hey, what's your email address? I want to send you an email to give you more information about my church. And then you come in here into the home section, scroll down, press invite, and it brings up this beautiful HTML rich email, which has all of this information about Sukkat Shalom, including times, an intro, and about the different ministries at Sukkat Shalom, helping people easily get more information about Sukkat Shalom. So you just then enter their email address, send it away, and all of your work is done for you. It's a great, great, great first step for inviting people to church. All right, so I'm going to press cancel in the top left corner and select delete draft. And now the last thing on the screen is the connect button in the bottom left. And you can see in the tab bar at the bottom there, the second button to the left is also connect. So when I press this connect tile, it's actually going to highlight that tab because it takes me into that tab. And what this does is it gives you the ability to, ta-da, connect with Sukkat Shalom. So you can get directions to church, you can email, call, or text church, you can sign up for the MailChimp newsletter, you can like on Facebook. And what like on Facebook does, so I'm going to go ahead and press that. If you have the Facebook app already installed on your device, it'll actually first of all, ask you if it's okay to open the Facebook app, because we're actually going to dive right into it. If you're familiar with Facebook, you know how Facebook connects with Messenger, and it will take you back and forth between the apps, just like the two apps are one. This will make it so Facebook works like it's actually part of the Sukkat Shalom app. So I'm going to press open, and it'll take me right into Sukkat Shalom's Facebook page in a second here. It can take Facebook a second. There we go. There we go. So now we're in Sukkat Shalom's page, and the cool thing about this is if we just opened a web page within the app, all you could do is read the posts. But now you can like Sukkat Shalom, you can comment on posts, you can follow, you can share, and it gives you the ability to interact with Sukkat Shalom much more easily since you're actually on their page on Facebook. But if you don't have Facebook, it would let you view Facebook just on the web within the app. So it gives you the ability to do that. If you don't want to download Facebook for some reason, you don't want a Facebook account, you can still see what Sukkat Shalom has posted on Facebook and stay up to date with what's going on. And then last of all, the bottom option will take you to visit the Sukkat Shalom website. So we're now in the Connect tab, like I said. Next of all, let's press the far left tab, the Teachings tab. And the Teachings tab gives you the ability to access Sukkat Shalom's sermons that have already been given in the past. So these are the archived messages, and you can see they're divided by sermon series, making it very easy for you to find what you're looking for. So as I scroll down here, you can see all of the different sermon series with really nice looking sermon series graphics, making it easy for you to go back and figure out what you want to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and select the Invitality. That's the fifth one from the top. And then as I go in here, now you can see the different sermons that are in that sermon series. And then I'll select Vitality. And now that'll take me in where I can actually watch the message. And you can see it shows me the date the message was given on, the series, the name. And I can either press watch in the embedded video above, or I can press the watch button there in the middle of the screen. But let's say I actually already saw this message. I just want to be able to share it with someone because this message meant so much to me. Well, you'd come to this screen, and then in the top right corner, you can see there's a share button. If I press that, it gives me the ability to send a text or email. So if I want to send it to someone personally, I could just send it to one person by text or email. Or if I scroll this list over, I could actually share this message on Twitter or Facebook, giving me the ability to share it with everybody that follows me. So if a message means a lot to you, this is a fantastic way to be able to share that message. So that takes us through what's available in the teaching section. Let's go to the right side of the screen for the tabs. First of all, let's go into the giving tab on the far right. And this just gives you access to the different ways that you can give to Sukkat Shalom. The top option is to give digitally. This will take you to their website. The next one, the middle one, will give you the ability to text to give, and that will take you into whatever the messaging app you have on your phone is, and it will enter in 84321 for you. So then all you got to do is text a dollar amount, and below that just shows you the address where you'd send the address where you'd send an envelope if you wanted to mail a check. So that explains what the giving section does. Last of all, let's go into the prayer section, the second tab to the right. The prayer section gives you access to prayer requests that people have posted at Sukkat Shalom. And this is a super powerful tool to be able to both request prayer, encourage people that are needing prayer, or just to let someone know you're praying for them. And there near the top of the screen, right below the banner, you can see it has a heart, :praying. So a heart indicates that you're praying for this prayer request. The speech bubble in the middle indicates that you have replied to this prayer request, and the exclamation mark means you flagged this prayer request. So let's explain what that means. You can see if you look at the two prayer requests there that are posted right now, both of them say praise. So first of all, you can indicate that a prayer request is in fact a request for prayer, or it's a praise telling people what God's doing in your life, or what God's doing in someone's life around you. Then you can see the actual details for the prayer request. So in the top one, you can see the entire request is there. The one below that, though, you can see it's truncated because it ends with, as we start this ... So if you want to see the rest of what that prayer request is, just touch anywhere in the text, and it will take you right into that prayer request. And you can say, as we start this new and exciting stage of our lives. So that's the full prayer request, but the request could be paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs long. So someone really wants to explain what's going on in their lives or something, they can write as much as they want here. You just got to tap into it and you can see it here. And then below the prayer request, you can see the replies to that prayer request. So John H. posted the prayer request, and below that, Jessica H. replied to it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and press back in the top left corner so you can see that for Joey's prayer request, the heart is gray, the speech bubble's blue, and the exclamation mark is gray. Anything that's blue means that's what I have done. So in the prayer below that, I have indicated I'm praying because the heart's blue. I have replied, so I'm the person that replied that we saw the reply for. So that's blue, and I've actually flagged it, which obviously isn't something you should normally do. We just want to show you how this works. So on the one above that, well, actually, let's go back to the one from John H. You can see there's a 2 next to the heart. So that means 2 people have indicated they're praying, and since it's blue, one of those people is me. You can see 1 person has replied. Since it's blue, that indicates it's me. So for Joey's prayer request, nobody has indicated that they're praying, thanking God for this the praise that Joey gave. So let's go ahead and I'm going to just select that heart, and you can see there now there's a 1. It's blue, so if anybody else looks at the app, there will now be a 1 there, but it'll be gray because they haven't indicated they're praying. So let's say I really want Joey to know I'm praying for this, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and press it again so he thinks 2 people are praying. If I do that, it says, hey, you're already praying for this. You can't say you're praying again. That makes it so you know every heart you see on there is actually someone that has indicated they're praying. Someone didn't just sit here and start pressing the button a bunch of times to make you feel good. No, it means someone actually said they're praying. So it's a really neat way to indicate to someone that you are praying, and also to offer words of encouragement. So I can press the speech bubble for Joey's prayer request. I'm going to press the speech bubble. My name is Jonathan, and I'm going to press the next button now that I entered my name. What would you like to say? This is fantastic. And then I'm going to use emojis just because emojis are fun. And then I'm going to select submit reply. And boom, look there, you can see Jonathan said, this is fantastic with the emoji. And now the speech bubble has a 2 next to it because there are 2 replies. So I'm going to go ahead and press the back button in the top left corner. And there you have it. You can see now it says there's 2 replies. Anybody that comes in can see there's 2 replies. And if they select the prayer request, they can go in and read what those replies are. So last of all, the exclamation mark. So this is a prayer wall where anybody can post. So technically someone could come in and post something inappropriate. What that exclamation mark gives you is the ability to flag that something's inappropriate, because you don't want Joey or a group of staff to have to be constantly watching this to make sure inappropriate content isn't posted. So if 3 different people press an exclamation mark for any prayer request, it will automatically delete that request. So the goal is that the church moderates the prayer wall so the staff doesn't have to spend all of their time moderating it. So if you see something that's inappropriate, just flag it, and as more people come into the prayer wall, they'll flag it and it will just automatically be removed and the whole system will work itself out. So all you have to do is press that exclamation mark and it will ask you, do you want, well, I made this prayer request so I can't delete it. So if you make a prayer request, you can delete it. But if I hadn't made it, it would have asked me if I wanted to flag the prayer request. And that brings up a great point. If you make a request or a reply, you can always delete it without needing multiple flags. So if you have a misspelling or something, you can easily delete. You don't have to worry. And also, if you made the prayer request, you can always delete any reply. So if you said something that really heartfelt and someone comes in and just says something that just doesn't feel good to you, you could just go in and delete it, and you don't need multiple people to delete it. So you just don't even have to worry about it. You can just get rid of that reply, but only the person that made the original prayer request can do that. So how do you make a prayer request? In the top right corner, you you can see a pencil. If I press that, it then takes me to this screen where I can indicate that I want to make a prayer request, I want to make a praise report, or I can even submit a private prayer request on iOS. So if I select that text, submit a private prayer request, it will just pull up an email that's sent to Sukkat Shalom, so I can just let them privately know about a prayer request. But in this case, let's make a prayer request. So what's my name? I'm going to go ahead and put Jonathan again. And I'm going to press next, and you see up at the top of the screen there's a little thing indicating the different steps I'm going through. Let's say, oh man, I'm wrong, I meant for this to be a praise. I can go ahead and press the 1 up there, and it will take me all the way back to where I started. Actually, I want it to be a prayer request, so I'm going to still do what I did. It remembered my name since I already put it. I'll press next. So what are the details for my prayer request? I am a new father and could use, could use all of the prayer I can get. And I am actually going to post this prayer request because it is dead serious. So I'm going to go ahead and press submit prayer. And there it is. You can see from Jonathan, I'm a new father and could use all the prayer I can get, is right there as the newest prayer request, waiting for people to indicate they're praying, or to reply, or if it had been offensive, to flag it as inappropriate. So that shows you the power of how this allows you to talk with different people in the church and to be able to pray for each other and encourage each other. So that finishes up our tour of the Sukkat Shalom app. If you have any questions about what you can do with the FaithLink app, please visit our website at faithlinkapps.com. Have a great day.